Hey, what's going on guys? It's Cole here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new guide for the brand new Black Ops 3 Zombies mod, Leviathan. In this guide, we will be taking a look at how to do the complete main Easter egg quest. Now, throughout the guide, I will be giving my tips for doing this in solo. I have not done it in co-op, I have only completed it in solo. I will try to make mention of things that I would try to do differently in co-op, but for the most part, this is going to be a guide with tips for the solo player rather than the full team. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, before I get into this guide, there are a few things that you will want to have for this Easter egg that I will not be mentioning how to do in this specific guide. You will want to know how to create the Poseidon's Wrath, how to craft the submersible armament, and how to upgrade your Harpoon gun. If you need to find out any of these, I will have cards throughout the video for them, and I will have links down in the description. The cards will pop up kind of when I would recommend getting those in your game, and I will mention when I recommend it. But for now, let's get into where we should begin. The first thing that you will want to do when you start up your Easter egg run is go and turn on the power. This will activate everything on the map that we need to do for the quest. If you don't already know how to activate power, I will have a link on screen and in the description to the guide for that. While you are running around opening up the map during the early game, you should also be looking for the part locations for the Poseidon's Wrath, as that is something that you can get pretty early on in your game that will be very, very helpful. Also keep in mind that if you have an excavator coming into an area, let it excavate it, because all three areas that the excavators can excavate, we want to be depressurized later on in the Easter egg, so let it happen as early as possible. I would also recommend picking up Jug at this point in your game relatively early on, because there are a lot of steps that we can do earlier in the game than for a lot of other Easter eggs. So it is very, very good to have, especially in solo, for keeping your precious quick revives. Now, this is also the point in the game where I like to start hitting the box, and I know that it might seem really early to be wasting a lot of your points on the box, but you want to do the 1-inch punch quest as early as possible, and before doing it, I highly recommend that you have one of the Ray Gun Mark II, the Harpoon gun, or the Wave gun in your game. If any one person has it, you are good. Speaking of the 1-inch punch quest, this is essentially step 1 of the Easter egg. Not that you actually need to do it to start the Easter egg, but you will need it for the egg, and it is best to do it as early as possible because you can often get this done before you can even start step 1 of the actual quest. So if you don't already know how to do it, go ahead and watch my guide. I will have it in the card on screen and in the description. Get this done as quickly as you can. Another quick note here, once you have a wonder weapon in your game and you continue to open the map, make sure that you have someone shooting down all the sharks. You will want one of the masks or helmets, and the shark mask is absolutely the easiest one to get. And for those confused, you want to have a helmet so that you can breathe underwater with the hacker. So once you have secured your 1-inch punch, we are ready to move on to the first actual step of the Easter egg. Once you come back, you will want to go into the labs to both grab the hacker and punch this painting on the wall to grab the Vril device. You will then want to head over to observation and hit this red button to start some dialogue.
Who's there? Have you come to liberate me? Oh, Richthofen, my friend. I was placed in the stasis chamber by the scientist. I will answer all of your questions, but only if you follow my instructions. I must get free. Connect the control panels to their corresponding locations around the base. Unfortunately, I do not know the order, so it is entirely up to you. Maybe there is a way to hack the system.
Ah, Dr. Wells, that hope suits you quite well. We'll play along with your little plan for now. So long as I get what I want.
Another German.
Once this dialogue exchange is over, you will want to go to one of these terminals around the doctor and hit the button on it for whichever one is on, and then pull out the hacker and hack the terminal. Hacking this terminal will activate a red panel on the wall somewhere around the map to beep very loudly, and all you have to do is when you find it, simply go up to it and interact. Now, all that you have to do is repeat this process another 3 times, so 1 for each terminal, and then, to complete the step, go back and talk to the doctor again.
Good work! Now my connection to the station is stable. However, the stasis pod that is keeping me alive is running low on power. I have been trapped in here for months, alone in this place since the incident occurred. There must be a source of power you can bring me. I remember hearing the scientists talk about a resupply submarine circling the base. Perhaps you can gain access to its supply of uranium.
Now, getting the Doctor the uranium is actually really easy, but I don't recommend that's what you do right now. What I recommend doing is the Harpoon gun upgrade. If you don't already know how to upgrade the Harpoon gun, I will have a link in the cards or in the description below. The crystal that you get from this quest is necessary to continue the egg later on, so it's best to get it now. Once you've retrieved your crystal, I also recommend that you go and get any masks that you might have ready, and come back to the safe regularly later on in your game if you hear more completion sounds and think you can get a better mask. In order to secure the uranium for the Doctor, you have to hit this panel button in the tunnel near PhD. This will release a mine out by Deadshot. Now, you want to go out and wait in the area by Deadshot for the second submarine that is carrying the uranium to go over the mine, and right when it's overhead, you want to shoot the mine, destroying both it and the submarine. Alright, so remember near the beginning when I said that you had to have all 3 of the possible excavations, like, depressurized? Yeah, this is where that comes into play. Once you crash the submarine with uranium, you have to wait until all 3 of those zones are depressurized. So you're going to have to flip a lot of rounds. This is where I would get fully set up for your game. Get the best guns you can out of the box, get Pack-a-Punch, get all your perks, and then, once all of that is done, once all of the areas are depressurized, you can go to where the uranium crashed out in the Deadshot area in this little structure here and take the same route that I do to get the uranium back to the Doctor. The reason that we do this is when the uranium is in a dry area, it will start to overheat and it will explode. And it is a very short timer, so you have to minimize the amount of time that you spend outside of the water. So when you do it this way, this is by far the easiest way, and as far as I can tell, the only possible way to do it, actually. Because I've tried with stamina up and, like, a helmet that enhances your sprint, right? I've tried to go through these dry areas to do this route. I've tried every route I could think of, at least, and I couldn't do it unless all 3 of these areas are depressurized. So, do that, take it to the Doctor, and you'll get some more dialogue telling you about the next step.
Yes, power to the stasis port has been fully... No, wait, something is wrong. The source of uranium must have decayed over the years. We still require energy to utilize the drill device. There exists an ancient energy source hidden deep within the earth. If you can extract this energy and bring it to me, my body can become the host for a cure.
Now, what you want to do is you want to head out to the Speed Cola area, and in the middle, that giant generator in the middle is a soul generator. You're going to want to hit the panel on the back to initiate it, and once you do so, you will be locked onto this platform and you will have to fill it with souls. This really isn't bad, especially because just by depressurizing all the areas, you'll probably be early to late 20s at this point in your game. You'll have a full setup, you'll have wonder weapons, all the perks you can want, a helmet. You'll be totally fine. You just have to get enough kills for it to release you. Once you've done this, I recommend getting back down to a last zombie and go back to the same panel and interact with it. This will give you the charged uranium you need, but it will also shut down the facility's power, and we have to do 3 lockdowns to restore that power. Now, these 3 lockdown locations are in the labs, the cafeteria, and spawn. They are all really tight areas that you have to hold out and not only protect yourself, but also protect the backup generator that you're trying to power up. You'll know what panels you have to interact with because they will have the same beeping sound effect when they need to be turned on as the panels on the wall did earlier during the hacker step. I recommend being super careful and taking plenty of time between lockdowns if you need it, because these are very difficult, very easy to die in and in between, as well as power is shut off, so you won't be able to buy back any of your perks, even solo quick revive. Once you have successfully completed all 3 of the lockdowns, go back to the backup power generator room, or the room above the labs, and flip the switch to restore power. If you are a solo player, I would recommend you do not move forward with the quest right now, and instead you do the free Gersh's mini quest, but don't do the entire thing, just do the soul box and take note of your combination. Once you have done this, go back to observation to talk to the doctor once again.
It was an unexpected turn of events that the entire facility's power was pulled into the generator. However, we must focus on the task at hand. Though we have restored our power source, we must utilize it in conjunction with both the drill device and a focusing crystal known as Poseidon's Eye. These artifacts must be placed in front of equipment, which you must biolocate here. We have no time to waste. Hurry!
Once he tells you this, you need to get QEDs from the box and throw them at these computer terminals. The first one will be out back from the backup generator room, or the room above the labs. The second one will be across from the power station. And the third one is up on this hill by Speed Cola. Once you have completed all three of these, go into the submarine and get your free Gersh devices. Once you have Gershes on your team, come back to observation and place the 3 devices in these 3 terminals.
The cure is beginning to take effect. The final step is to pass through the ether in order for the sickness to separate from my body. Use the singularity to help me escape the stasis pod. As for our agreement with the real device, it is all yours, Richthofen. Do with it as you please.
Once he has told you this, throw a Gersh device at him to send him through the portal.
Take the submarine to the surface and escape this cursed place. Thank you, my friends. I wish you luck in your endeavors.
Once this step is complete, you will receive all perks on the map permanently. The only exception to this seems to be Solo Quick Revive, which for me at least has not been restored after downing. Once you are at this point, I would recommend that you have all 3 wonder weapons in your team all fully upgraded before moving forward. Even in solo, since you have permanent mule kick, you can get the Mark II, the wave gun, and the fully upgraded harpoon gun all before going into the boss fight, which I should add is completely optional. If you want to play your game with the perks, you can. If you want to do the boss, you can. To enter the boss fight, you first need to go back to observation and retrieve the Vril device again. Once you have the Vril device and everyone on your team is ready, you simply go back to the submarine room near Stamina Up and interact with this panel.
You thought you could escape. You were wrong. Release the Leviathan.
You are now in the boss, and this boss isn't even that bad. It does have 3 phases though. The first phase is against the Leviathan, and you simply have to dump damage into the 4 glowing spots on its face, those being the 2 shining spots on its forehead and its eyes. Once you finish this phase and get your max ammo, the second phase is against Bubbles, but this time he has a shit ton of health. He actually ends up being the most dangerous phase of this boss. So my tip is just to handle this like you would handle any other encounter with him, but don't play over aggressive thinking that you can just kill him with the Poseidon's Wrath really quickly, because you can't. You can't even kill him with the harpoon gun quickly. You just have to be patient, take your time with it, be careful. Once you complete this phase, it will give you another max ammo, and the third phase is just the first one again, but with a slightly more aggressive Leviathan. He will use more of his elemental attacks, so just play it a little more carefully than you played the first phase, and you'll be good to go. And with that, congratulations you guys, you have now finished the Leviathan Easter egg. I hope that you guys had as much fun with this Easter egg as I did. I really enjoyed a lot of the steps, and I thought that the boss fight at the end was amazing. If you did enjoy this video, and it helped you out in any way, feel free to go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. I have more Leviathan videos coming out in the next couple days, and I've already got a bunch of them up on the channel. If you're looking for more of those, simply go to the card at the end of the video, or go to my channel and find the playlist. If you're looking to catch some Leviathan games live on Twitch, or any other Zombies games live on Twitch, feel free to go ahead and follow me there. I'll have a link on screen and then a description. But with that, I'm going to let the outro cutscene play. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.
A scientist, a spy, a thief, all a part of Samantha's larger plan. Now I will be taking the root device. As for you, enjoy Siberia.
Oh, shit.